45,000 voters, and there usually is a list of 4,000 people. And out of all those you mentioned, I'm not so sure about Arabot Brola because he's a pretty controversial figure in Israel. And though I think he has brought so much to humanity, especially on these past years, he is still very controversial by the fact that some Israelis think that this was kind of a little, we're kind of guinea pigs to this vaccine that we paid millions and millions of dollars. So that it was basically a business transaction at the end of the day.
And as you mentioned, people vote. So scientists, they may not be the top of mind candidate for a popular vote.
I mean, it wasn't just Brola himself, but he definitely led this in a very quick and efficient way. So he's definitely worthy of the nomination.
Many, but not all, of previous winners do include movie stars and celebrities.
Actually, Gal Gadot was nominated. Spielberg got it in the end. But,
so we do have a lot of celebrities that are nominated this year. I mean, we have Scarlett Johansson, Sacha Baron Cohen. What are their ties to Israel or Jewish values? Why did they make the list this year?
Well, I think, okay, well, Scarlett Johansson, it's pretty interesting. I mean, she went on Discover Your Roots and discovered what happened to her family. They all passed away in the Holocaust. And she's also not only she's a spokeswoman for Israel. She stood up to Oxfam. She is the SodaStream representative. And she also, there were 3 activists that were freed during the EIPR, the Egyptian Initiative Personal Rights. She actually moved something that was unprecedented, that Egypt released 3 activists that were accused of being a terrorist when basically they were just hosting a diplomats feast to discuss, human rights and terror.
And she personally was involved.
And she personally was involved with that. And they, because of her and the international pressure, they ended up freeing these 3 activists. So she does have some activism under her belt. And as for Sacha Baron Cohen, he has come a long way since Ali G, obviously. I personally, he's been nominated before. I was discussing with Kalev just before we went up. Like, I think people are scared to give him this win. But I think what he's doing is so excellent because by being Borat, playing an anti-Semite who speaks Hebrew in his movies, showing the people who espouse hatred and anti-Semitism and bringing it out and bringing such awareness, as well as, you remember his famous ADL speech when he was talking about Never Is Now, the Summit on Anti-Terrorism and Hatred, and talking about how social network is so misleading with their fake news and dissemination of news. I think he's doing something very big
around the world, calling out Facebook, calling out the misinformation that really borders on anti-Semitism that they're leaving on the platform, and it really made a mark around the world.
And he's a very private person. He loves to hide behind Borat and the rest of his characters, but this was one of the first times that he came out as Sacha Baron Cohen and speaking it as it is.
Do you think that this award, this Genesis Prize, does it really matter? I mean, it was funded just a few years ago by a group of wealthy Russian philanthropists. No one takes the money personally. Do you think it's a worthwhile?
I mean, I just love what it does for humanity. I mean, look at Spielberg. He took the $1 million, he gave it to BLM, to Jews of Culture Initiative, Justice for Migrants, Native Americans' rights, Diana, which fights climate crisis. The money goes into such philanthropies. At the end of the day, how can it be a bad thing?
You're going to vote Kalev as well?
William Shatner, he'll be my right.
I think if he comes back from space first, he has to be here.
I've actually met Diane von Furstenberg and interviewed her, and Jewishness is a big part of her life. She might be an interesting choice.
And her mother was like the driving force. And everyone, I mean, what I want to say, we can do a 60-minute piece about each one of these people and what they brought to the world.
Yeah. We're out of time. Thank you so much, Carmit and Kalev, for being with us here on the Zoom and Show. There is no date yet, by the way, for when the Genesis Prize winner will be announced at an upcoming gala. We do know it will be in early 2022. No date finalized yet. We'll keep you posted, of course, here on I-24 News.